Hi, I'm Don, and this is the Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. Today, we have pack 2 of our Agora models, Optimus Prime. I can't wait. Last time we got the head, we got the chest. I don't know what's in this box, but let's go ahead and open up. Let's see what we got. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Let's get this thing open. There we go. I'm kind of doing this a little weird way because I got my address on the front and I don't want to push that out, but that's okay. Let's see here. Oh my. Look at this. Look at the size of that thing. The smokestack looks awesome, and all of these pieces look good. We're obviously working on an arm here. Let's see. More pieces. Ooh. I like this silver and whatnot. And of course the red is just like from pack 1. And over here, with this logo here, I'm guessing this is going to be the left arm, or at least the left shoulder. I don't see anything that would be a hand, but it is looking quite nice. No paperwork again. So it looks like we're going to have to deal with internet instructions once again. It is what it is. We'll go through each of these pieces as we do the build. We don't need to do them all individually now, but they do look nice. Looks like there's quite a bit of structure support. One thing I do not see in all of this, and this is about as high as I can get the camera, so can't really show off all 3 of these at once. That's about as good as I can get. What I don't see are any electronics. I see no wires, no circuit boards, no lights. So this looks like it's going to be a straight up build, relatively easy, I hope. But let's go ahead and pull out the first pieces and get started. Alright, step 1 is fairly simple. You take part 14 and part 15. I'm guessing these are parts of the smokestack. I don't know for sure. And you slide them together. You can see you got some posts and you've got some holes, and we just slide them together for a nice comfy fit, just like so. We got 2 holes right here, and we got 2 of these PB2 x4 screws. One thing that's kind of nice here is this time around, I don't know if this is showing, there it is. They labeled the bags, and the instructions were very, very, very clear. Do not mix these up. Do not lose them. They might not be used here, but they might be used in a future pack. So, yay, I guess. I don't know. All right, with those 2 screws in, that is step 1 complete. All right, for step 2, you will need to pull out part 17 and parts 43. This is entirely a glue assembled stage. Just put some glue on here, slide that on, put some glue here or in here. The instructions actually say to do it on these posts that are in there. And the post will go over the flat end on this side. Boom, just like that. So let me go ahead and get this glued, let the glue dry, and I will be right back. And here we have step 2 complete. Let's move on to step 3. Step 3 here is quite easy. It's just taking part 42 here, and you want to slide it over this. Now take a look at the back end here, and you'll see there's a slot. There it is. And there's a slot on this. So you want to make sure that when you're orienting it, those slots line up just like that. And that is actually the end of step 3 right there. Alright, here we are at step 4, and we have part 33 here. You can see there's a little slot there. Guess where that's going to go? That's right, it's going to go into that slot. You got to put a little glue on this thing, and then you slide it in. Now, there is something very important to note here, and that is, if you take a look, man, this focus. If you take a look, there's a step on this end. There is not on that. This step has to be facing towards the top of the stack. So when you push it in, make sure that step is facing towards the top. I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on here. We'll get it in there, let it dry, show you what it's like afterwards. And here we are, step 4 complete. Moving on to step 5. Alright, here we are at step 5. Step 5 begins by taking part 40 here and part 2. We're going to slide them together. There's no real direction to say which way this goes, and I don't know if you can see this, but it is, man, focus. I don't know if that's a mold issue or if it's supposed to be differentiated. It doesn't, it's hard to tell. It also says, it also has no instruction on glue. So just gonna slide this in and just push fit it. A little friction there. We seem to be okay, at least for now. And then this is a PB 2.3 times 6 screw, just one. And we're gonna take our smokestack. We're gonna pop that puppy in. I think, yeah, just like this. That's where it's supposed to go. Or does it go this way? Ah, me and my backwardsness. Little dyslexia going on there. It just slides in like this. Make sure that the step is facing up if you haven't already. In fact, you're not going to be able to change it now because it's glued in. And it'll go in just like this with a screw going right through there. All right, and this is the end of step 5. Things are coming along. Okay, step 6 here is going to be quite simple. We have these PM 3.8 bolts. We've got TR249 locking washers, and then the TR250 flat washers. Those will go together just like that. Shove it through one of the holes here on part 18. We'll thread it through just like so. And we finish it off with a part 48 screwed on this end. And we just repeat it 4 times for the 4 corners. And there we go. Step 6 is complete. Okay, here we are on part 7. And we're going to get 4 more each of the 3.8 bolts, the 49 locking washers, and the 50 washers. And what we're going to do is take part 25 here, which, by the way, part 25, not labeled in the parts list. It is on the first pack, however. There's no instruction as to which particular direction it goes. It looks like it is even either way, so it shouldn't matter. We take this from stage 6, and there's a hollow here, and it's solid on this end. I don't think it matters. Again, it all looks the same. And we just push those through the 4 posts through the 4 holes all the way through. And then we top it off with the bolt, locking washer, flat washer, screw it in, and we repeat for all 4. And there you go, step 7 is complete. I'm guessing there's some sort of motion because this can still come out this far. I can't wait to see how that all works. But things are looking up. Let's move on to step 8. All right, here we are at stage 8. This time we have PM 3.6 bolts. These are still more of the 49 locking washers. And we have part 46. 46 is supposed to go in just like so. And then we do a locking washer bolt combo in each of these to hold it in place. However, 46 does have this nut here. And if you take a look, what I've actually done here is incorrect. You can see there's an angle at the top. That is not the way this is supposed to go. We need the flat side across the top like this. And it does fit into that hollow. So let's go ahead and get those bolts in and get this thing assembled. All right, and there we have it. Stage 8 is complete. And again, remember to have the flat sides on the top and bottom in this orientation. All right, here we are at step 9. We've got 4 more of the 3x6 bolts, 4 more of the 49 locking washers. We've got another part 46 as well as part 19. Now we take 46 and this time it's going to be the flat end that goes in just like this. Now this does not specify what direction to have that bolt. I'm going to go ahead and say keep it flat up and bottom, top and bottom, simply because it looks that way in the instructions. And then we're going to put in the bolts and locking washers on this side and call this step done. And there we go. Step 9 is complete. On to step 10. And here we are at step 10. We've got 4 PM 3.14 bolts this time, 4 more of the 49 locking washers, and we've got part 28 to add to the assemblies that we've already put together. Fairly simple. We take this piece, make sure these bolts are on the outside, and we slide it in like so. From here, we will take this piece, just like this, slide it in so these 4 holes match up, and it all looks a lot like this. And then bolts and locking washers in all 4 holes to finish it up. And there you go. Stage 10 is complete. If I didn't know better, we're building a joint of some kind. Don't know if it's the shoulder or the elbow, but it certainly looks like a joint to me. All right, and here we are at step 11. We've got 2 more of the PB 2.3x6 screws, as well as part 30. Part 30's got this raised bit here, this protrusion that's going to go in towards the assembly, and there's a slot right there that's going to fit on that. I don't know if you can see that, it's all black, but it fits right in there, and the 2 screws right there, and we can call this step done. Booyah! Step 11 complete. On to number 12. Okay, we're going to go ahead and combine steps 12 and 13 here because, well, it's ridiculous that they're separate. 12 is effectively taking this assembly and this one that you've already put together and just doing that right there, just like that. When you do it, make sure that this edge here, this little indentation, is facing forward with the smokestack here on the right. Step 13 is taking 4 3.8 bolts and 4 of the 49 locking washers and putting them through these 4 holes to hold it in place. So let's go ahead and get that done. And there we go. Steps 12 and 13 are complete. And we are ready to move on to 14. And here we are with the parts for stage 14. We have part 6 and part 7. On the outside, they kind of look the same. On the inside, they are vastly different. Here we have 2 extra posts on the bottom. This is part 6. And smaller posts here. Part 7 has these very wide posts with 2 small posts on the inside. We also have a couple of the 2.3x6 screws. And what's going to happen here, if you take a look at your assembly so far, you can see there are these 2 holes here on either side. Those are going to go between the posts on 7 all the way down. And we're going to use the screws to hold it in place. So let's get that done. All right, and with that in place, we can just slide this in, make sure these 4 posts line up with these 4 holes, and these 2 down here line up with these 2 holes. And it should slide together and friction fit. And booyah! Look at that. Alright, here we are at step 15. It's reasonably easy. We have part 27. Part 27 is going to fit on here. However, that is not part 27. That is part 26. You have to be very, very careful because parts 26 and 27 come in the same hole. They're not labeled individually. They look identical with one exception, and that is the placement of the holes here. So we're going to make sure that the holes line up with these holes on this assembly, just like this, and that this piece here with these 2 holes here is facing down so that it's nice and neat. We got 4 more of the 2.3x6 screws we're going to throw in there and attach it for good. All right, and there we are. Step 15 is complete. Step 16 is the exact same thing using part 26 on the other side. All right, there we are. Step 16 is complete. And here we are on step 17. We've got parts 11, 16, 29, and 47 on 2 more of these 2.3x6 screws. We're going to kick things off by taking part 11 and part 29. We're going to throw them together. Now, if you look at 29, this side's got this hollow. This has got the little raised edges here, the lips. The hollow goes out and the lips go in, and we line it up. There's these 2 big posts here, and that will slide in, and we use the screws to hold it in place. And we take part 47 here, and you'll notice there is a smaller nut and a larger nut. This one's kind of closed in. The closed off section goes towards the right when holding it in this orientation, and you basically just slide this puppy in just like this. Same for the other one. Just like that. And then part 16, you've got kind of this L with the short end facing down, and then this pin is going to go into this hole and just sit there for now. So it doesn't actually attach, so it's kind of loose at the moment. Let's see if we get that taken care of in stage 18. And sure enough, here we are at step 18. We've got our assembly from 17. And then we have part 10 here, who's going to slide over this And again, you've got a post and a hole, so you're gonna have to try and line it up just right so that it all holds into place. There we go. And this has got to move, so definitely don't glue it. But you do have 3 screw holes here and 3 more of the 2.3x6 screws. So let's get those in. All right, and with those in place, we have part 45, which are really just these rubber caps to cover the screw holes. Just slide those puppies in too. Boom. All done with step 18. All right, here we're going to combine steps 19 and 20 because, again, they really shouldn't be separate, but we're going to go ahead and do it this way. First and foremost, we're going to take the assembly we just built in 18. We're going to take part 20 here, slide that in there, and 21 is going to go like so. And with this assembled, you can see there's a big hole right there. We have a 3x8 bolt, another 49 locking washer, and this time on the other side we have part 58, which is this nut. So we're going to go ahead and get that nut in there, then slide the bolt in, and get it all assembled. All right, and with that in place, man, it looks like it's supposed to move, but I'm afraid of breaking the plastic if I move it too much. But there is this ring, this is part 44, this is step 20, and that ring just kind of goes over just like that. And that is the end of steps 19 and 20. And here we are at step 21. We have parts 22 and 23, along with 2 more of the 3x8 bolts, the locking washers, and the nuts. Now, 22 here has the hex holes. That will go on the back. I'm assuming this is the back. Just like this, with this lip facing up. 23, opposite side. Oh, helps if you have it in the right orientation. There we go, just like that. Nut in here, bolt and washer on the other side to finish her off. All right, and that is the end of part 21. This thing can rotate. It's very tight, which is probably a good thing. I swear this thing is going to rotate as well, but I'm so terrified of breaking this plastic. So hopefully that doesn't become a problem later. Also, this particular screw cap, all the others are fine. That one is in there fine now, but was falling out. I haven't done anything with it other than keep putting it back, but if you have that issue, probably okay to glue it in there if you have no intention of getting back into those screws. Moving on to step 22. And here we are on 22. We got 4 more of the 3x8 bolts, the locking washers, and the nuts. We have part 47 here. On the flat side, we've got 4 holes that are hex for the nuts, and it's going to sit on top of the assembly just like this. And the bolts and locking washers are going to come in from underneath to hold it in place. So this is going to be fun from a clearance side. Let's see if we can't get this done. All right, and there we go. Step 22 complete. And I have to admit, clearance was not an issue. I thought it was going to be. It wasn't. Able to get in there nice and easy. Okay, we're combining steps 23, 24, and 25 for this. We have 4 of the 3.3 3x10 bolts, as well as 4 more locking washers and 4 more nuts. The objective here is to attach this to this. Now this little piece here, you want to make sure that it folds out like that towards the back. So when you're putting it in, you can slide it in like this, boom. And now it's completely in and ready to rock and roll. So, it's not terribly difficult to get it in. Now we got to keep it in. And that's where things get a little more difficult. I don't know if I can show this. I'm trying here. You know what? Okay, I've turned the light on the camera to see if maybe this gets a little easier to see. But right in here, there are some slots here and on the other side as well. Those are where you're going to slide the nuts in while it's in this assembly like this. And then the bolts and washers come in from the outside. It's going to be an interesting experiment to see if we can do this. Definitely going to probably use my tweezers here. Let's see if we can't get this done. And I'll see you on the flip side. Whew. All right. There it is. All 4 bolts are in. This thing is fully attached. I gotta admit, a little bit surprised at how easy that went in, but it was doable. And we are good to go. Moving on. Okay, combining steps 26 and 27 here. We're going to take part 3. I'm going to slide it right over the shoulder joint here so that these holes line up with the screw posts. There are 2 on each side. And we're going to screw them together, which is step 27. With 4 of the 2.3x6 screws. And there it is. Nice and neat. I gotta tell you, I'm a little upset though, because I did test this earlier and this does move a little bit. However, this is going to seriously restrict its mobility. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we're going to be able to do to fix that. But, well, there you have it. Moving on. And here we are combining steps again. Step 28 takes part 37 here and part 35. And we put them together just like that. Just slide in. No glue required, according to the instructions. And then step 29. We take this piece, which is part 5, and it keeps referring to something as front and back of the model. However, it's bilaterally symmetrical, so I don't know what front and back in this instance means. But anyway, it lines up. We got 4 holes here and 4 of these PWM 2x6 screws. So we're going to go ahead and screw that puppy in. Alrighty, now with this assembled, I guess that makes this the front of the model because these blinds here, these vanes, are supposed to go this way, down into the front. So that makes this the front of the model now. Moving on. And here we are at step 30. We've got these 4 posts here, and we've got these 4 holes right there. Make sure in this case that the alignment is as we discussed in the last one, with the vanes going down into the front, with this being the front, because this is supposed to be the left arm. And then we're going to take those 2.3x6 screws and get them in there, 4 of them. Hopefully clearance won't be a problem here either. All right, and there it is. Clearance is definitely more of an issue getting these screws in than it was with the previous steps. But there we go, step 30 is complete. All right, combining a few more steps here, 31, 32, and 33. We have part 4 and part 24, and these are looking pretty cool. They're gonna go together just like so. So you got the 4 posts, 4 holes on the outside, boom, so that fits in nice and neat, just like this. Coming in from the back, we've got 4 of these PWM 2.4 screws to hold it in place. Okay, with that done, we are done with 31. We'll go moving on to step 32. On the back side, we've got these little hooks here, little hooks here. We're going to slide this up into all of them if we can. There we go. So it's nice and neat. And then we are going to move on to step 33. Step 33 is to take part 39 here. And we're basically going to line it up. There's these little lips in there that'll go into these slots on either side, and make sure that this hole here lines up with this screw hole and these posts line up there. All right, and with this in place, one thing I should note, on this side there's actually more of a lip on this, and that's what's going to go here next to the smokestack. And then we're going to take a PB 2.3x6 screw, and that's going to go and hold it in place. Right in here, if I'm not mistaken. Not in this hole, in this hole. There we go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, combining steps 34 and 35 here. We're going to take, let's see, what is this? Part 34 and 36, parts 34 and 36. You'll notice it is keyed. There's a little post here. It's going to go into that hole there. So you've got the right orientation. If you can manage to get that in there. There it goes. And then in this hole here on the back, one of those PB 2.4 or 2x4 screws. All right, and with this assembled, right here we've got these holes to line up with these holes, and it will slide right in just like this. But sadly, we must apply some glue. So let me get some glue on there, and I'll be back when it dries. And there you are, end of step 35. And that actually looks pretty awesome. I gotta admit, I really do like that. Moving on. And here I go combining steps again. We're going to take part 1 and parts 12 and 13. Now 12 and 13 look almost identical, but 12 has a number 1 on it. 13 has a number 2, so you can tell the difference. We're going to need 4 of the PWM 2x4 screws. Flip one over. 12 will go on this side, 13 on the other. Make sure that these little hooks here are facing in. And we'll get the screws on there to attach it. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. Step 37 is quite easy. We just move to the front and slide it in, making sure those hooks go where they're supposed to. And right there in the middle, well, that actually is the end of 37. And for 38, right there in the middle, we're going to take a 2.3 by 6 screw here, and we're going to screw right in the middle there to hold it in place. And then we're going to take part 38 here, and again, there's that lip on that side and none on this. So the side with the lip is what goes by the smokestack. Just pop that in, make sure the posts go in the holes, and make sure that other lip goes in on the other side. Boom. Just like that. And next up, we're going to take part 31, this incredible Autobot logo. It's got 2 posts. We're going to have to glue those posts, and they're going to go right in there. So let's do a test fit. Holy crap, this is pretty tight. Ah, there it goes. Well, if I can't even get it off to get the glue in, maybe we don't need it. No, it's coming. All right. So let me go ahead and glue this. I will get back to y'all when it dries. All right, final stretch here. Last 2 steps, 39 and 40. We're going to combine these. We've got 2 different types of screws this time around. We have the 2x3x6 or 2.3x6 screws. There's 2 of those, and one of the 2x4 screws. We're going to start off by taking part 8 and part 9. Part 9 has the holes, part 8 does not. Part 8 goes on the outside of the arm, and you'll notice there's 2 posts here and here. And if you take a real close look, you can see 2 holes up top there that they're going to slide into, just like that. Part 9 is going to come in on the other side. And we're going to make sure it's a nice, even fit, just like this. Now, the longer screws are going to go into these outside holes, with the 2x4 screw going right there in the middle. All right, and there you have step 39. Step 40 is nice and easy. You just take this piece. There are 4 posts on the back. There are 4 holes for it to go in. And no glue, just friction. Boom. There you go. And this, my friends, completes pack 2. Okay, now that it's assembled, let's take a closer look. I know it looks really simple, but you guys just watch me build it. It is clearly not simple, but it does look fairly amazing. This right here will rotate for more options as far as displaying your piece. There is a bit of a gap in here. I'm actually not don't have a problem with it. Normally I wouldn't like gaps like this, but given the motion, I don't want it rubbing the paint off, and that works out really well. This does not bend, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not supposed to bend. Maybe it bends at this joint here with this. So that works too. This can go up and down. It is freaking tight though. It is really, really tight. So be careful when you're messing with that, at least until we have the rest of the assembly on this side to help stabilize it a little bit. Hey y'all, popping in here with a little pickup video. I can't believe I didn't catch this on the primary recording. I feel like an idiot. But this section right here, because of those bolts, it actually pulls out. Okay, so you can actually see the hinge in there. Now it is still incredibly tight, but because it can pull out, as you can see, man, I can't even get this thing to move. We're still going to need the rest of the assembly here, but this actually does free it up so we can get the full range of motion up and down on the shoulder, which is wonderful. And I guess for storage or display purposes, you know, you've got this extra ability to push it in, which is actually pretty cool. I really kind of like that a little bit. We've got these wonderful and absolutely beautiful venting details and all of that stuff on the inside right there. That is just absolutely incredible. We do have these bolts that are kind of painted red. I wish they'd been like painted silver or something, but that's okay. I can live with it. On the back side, we've got this awesome texture detail here, along with these vents here, this wonderful silver highlighting. This I'm a little less happy with. One, it still moves a little bit. And while you do have, you know, that black detail inside, nobody's ever going to notice that. I mean, there's some wiring and stuff, but it's all painted black. Nobody's ever going to see it. And with this being plastic and on the outside, and by what's likely to be one of the most moved pieces, parts of this piece, I'm worried that it's going to snap. I really am. I'm worried that someone is going to put a little too much pressure on the stack, and boom. And it's really, really long. Honestly, I think this entire part here probably we could have done without. But it does look good. It does indeed look good. Love this Autobot logo. Absolutely gorgeous on that. Other than that, there's not a whole lot more to showcase for this piece. But, I mean, just look at the size of this, and that is just his shoulder. Okay, this is going to be a massive piece, and I can't wait to get him done. I really hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Have a great day.